This week we're going to do something a little different and talk about some of the recent things in the real estate news that directly affect you whether you're buying a home, selling a home, or in the business. I'm David Bennett, and this is your real estate update from Financiers Mortgage Group in the nether regions of Fort Worth, Texas.
You can travel to the four corners of the world. When it comes to having fun, there's no debate. 'Cause everyone that's looking for a real big time.
The record low interest rates we've been seeing are because those in your land are still having troubles. Remember, they're the ones that drug us into this mess. Greece may withdraw so that they can file bankruptcy, and Spain is having a run on its banks. So that means money once again is flowing into the U.S. But these low rates won't last forever, and it's looking as if they may begin rising pretty soon, maybe as soon as this week or next week. But a recent Freddie Mac rate survey showed that the 15-year fixed-rate mortgages were averaging 2.97%. Rates broke the 3% value for the very first time in history. The week before, they averaged 3.04%, and a year ago, when we thought rates were so great, it was 3.74%. Now, 30-year fixed-rate mortgages also sets record lows for 5 straight weeks in a row. Of course, those types of rates are only level for the best of the best. You know, people with large down payments, certain loan sizes, certain credit scores. But it still means that even if you aren't in that top 2%, your rates will be great, as Tony the Tiger would say. Now, shouldn't you be thinking of using these low rates to leverage the purchase of your next home? You know, when rates are double digit, or maybe even paying off your mortgage. Now, when has paying off your mortgage ever really been a viable short-term option? We've never seen rates like this before, and we should pray we never do again because it means we're in trouble. But with rates like this, you should be looking at the shortest term loan that you can afford the payments on. Loans don't just come in two flavors, 15-year and 30-year. They come in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. These shorter term loans will let you build your equity at a supercharged pace. And that just means that your next home loan and your next monthly payment will be that much smaller. Now, here's one I bet most of you didn't know about. There's been a recent Texas law, House Bill 3613, that makes the homestead of a 100% disabled veteran tax exempt. That's right, they pay no property taxes on their homestead whatsoever, and they get a $12,000 exemption on other properties they own. Now, actually the bill was signed by Governor Perry in 2009, but several aspects of it didn't go into effect until this year. Most vets, lenders, realtors, and even the tax assessors aren't aware of the law. I know we weren't until this year, but then again, while we've done some loans for disabled vets, we haven't had a 100% disabled vet for several years. The people at the Tarrant County Appraisal District weren't aware of it either. So let me read you what they sent to the tax assessor's office. It says, the total value of an applicable disabled veteran's residence homestead, principal residence, is exempt from any calculation of property taxation. Regardless of the number of taxing units, such as school districts, utility districts, hospital districts, etc., in which a veteran's homestead may be, the property's value is virtually worth $0 for the calculation of a property tax bill. This has some great implications for qualifying. Imagine how much more a person could qualify for if they didn't have a couple $300 worth of monthly taxes. Now, since this is a Texas, New Mexico, and possibly South Carolina only law, and loans are written to federal guidelines, expect you might have to fight some underwriters on this, as some will still want to qualify them with the present day taxes, since the veteran will have to pay those taxes until January. Or will they? I went to the State of Texas Tax Info website, and it says the vet must file between January 1 and April 30th, but then they answer this question. If you become eligible for the 100% disabled veteran residence homestead exemption in the middle of a tax year, does the exemption apply to that tax year? And the answer says, beginning with 2012, a person who qualifies for the exemption after January 1 of a tax year may receive the exemption immediately on qualification for the applicable portion of that tax year. They can only get the full waiving of taxes on one property. Here's another question and answer. If a 100% disabled veteran moves to a different residence homestead in the middle of a tax year, when does the exemption apply to the new residence? The answer is, the exemption starts immediately when the 100% disabled veteran's residence homestead purchases the new residence. The tax due for that tax year is the amount due for the portion of the year before the exemption started, and the title company will take care of that proration. This applies to tax years that begin on or after January 1, 2012. A residence homestead application must be filed with the appraisal district in which the new residence homestead is located. So it's up to the vet to file that. It also says the surviving spouse of a 100% disabled vet gets to keep the waiver as long as they were married at the time of death, even if they died before the exemption law went into effect of 2012. Now, once they remarry, they lose the waiver. Now, think of how this could help you and your customers. Now, I said at the beginning we were going to do something different this week. Well, I lied. You can see all that I told you about here and more every day on our daily update page. I even give you links to other stories and some graphs that let you research these articles yourself. So this really was nothing different. You have access to this kind of information every day. Plus, this gives you a place to point your buyers and your sellers to so that you're sure they're getting valid information. Lenders don't control the rates. That's it, way above our pay grade. We also don't control the closing costs. So the only thing a lender can bring to the table is their knowledge and our service. You can see we stay on top of things and have the knowledge. This helps you because we very seldom get bitten by the loan standards themselves. Just over 50% of our loans last year had already been turned down by the lenders. The issue was knowledge of loan standards and the willingness to do the extra work to get the documentation to allow an underwriter to approve the loan. We have the knowledge and we're willing to do the work. Even though half of our loans are already being turned down by other lenders, we had a turn down rate last year that was 1/10 the national norm. So as the saying goes, the proof is in the pudding, and we make a lot of pudding. Banana pudding. So until next time, we're
Having fun is a Texas state of mind.